small group today. Some of the mayor and Councillor Johnson are in hobnobbing with the premier, I think, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And we welcome, yeah, here we go, Jackie Seeley to our meeting. We'll have you come up just a minute here. So call to order. We'll make the land acknowledgement. The town of Cardston acknowledges that we are located on traditional Black Confederacy territory. Are there any additions to the agenda? I'll take a motion to adopt it then. Councillor Selk, all in favor? And Jackie, you're on. You're right off the top here.
Show you the clicker here, Jackie.
Go down?
Down is actually forward. Don't analyze it too much.
All right.
It's like flying a helicopter. Up is down, down is up. Well, we welcome you. I know we see you guys every year, which is nice to know what's going on in our area as far as stars and that stuff goes. So we'll let you turn it over to you.
Well, thank you very much. It is a pleasure to come back and in such beautiful weather. So for those who have not met me yet, I'm Jackie Seeley. I live in the town of Bassano, where I work remotely for STARS and travel all across southern Alberta, working with municipalities in southern and central Alberta now, actually. So it's a pleasure to come back to your council for the third time now. So STARS, we celebrated our 40th anniversary just in December of last year. We've been providing critical care for over 40 years, and not only physically, but virtually. And as a charitable organization, we continue to operate at no cost to the patient. We do have a new CEO at STARS, and that's Dr. John Froh. So previously he was the Chief Medical Officer at STARS, and so he moved into the helm in January 2025. Very much a critical care expert like Dr. Powell, our founder, and very innovative as well. So STARS is in very good hands with him there. Just a little bit of a background for any new members to council who may not have heard this yet is how our story began. And that is STARS was born out of necessity when a pregnant woman died from blood loss who couldn't make it to the hospital on time before she bled out to make it to tertiary care in Calgary. So for our founder, Dr. Powell, the head of the Foothills Emergency at the time, he said her death was one too many and something had to be done. So they started the work to get STARS literally off the ground. Our very first mission was December 1st, 1985 to Lethbridge, Alberta for critically ill newborn Kelly Waldron. So here is Kelly with her family and her children. It's nice to reflect on the ripple effect of a life saved. You know, the positive impact it has on a community when a story continues. On the bottom left is our very first helicopter, and we were originally called Lions Air Ambulance. And that's because the Lions International helped with some seed funding to get STARS started. And to this day, many Lions clubs still support STARS. So in recognition of that partnership, we do have the Lions logo on every single one of our helicopters today. In the middle, you'll see our BK-117 helicopter, and that's when we became Shock Trauma Air Rescue Service, and the helicopter became red. So that helicopter served us well for 37 years. And then in 2021, we began phasing in the H-145 helicopter, a fleet of 10, which now serves our 6 bases across Western Canada. So we have 3 bases in Alberta, Calgary, Edmonton, and Grand Prairie, 2 in Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, and Regina, and 1 base in Winnipeg, Manitoba. We work with multiple partners in the chain of survival, and of course a big shout out to your fire department here who helps with the safe landing of our helicopter on the highway or out in the field or the backwoods areas in some cases. We work with other partners in the chain of survival too and appreciate everyone working together for the best outcome of the patient. As you can see in this photo, we have multiple assets responding to a call. We did have a mission in the mountains there that responded. We had 2 helicopters dispatched to, and our STARS transport physician on the ground to assess multiple critically injured patients. We do fly at night, so with 50% of our calls at night, that's really important as well. These are the types of missions that we fly for. Vehicle incidents was usually number 1, and that's been surpassed by cardiac at 21%. And then vehicle incidents at 19, and a mix of everything, other trauma-related illnesses and injuries after that. Here is a mission overview, a 5-year mission report from 2021 to 25. A total of 36 missions throughout Cardston County, with 27 of those missions as interfacility transfers from the Cardston Hospital. So that's a great deal of the missions, over 85% of the missions from the hospital. And then, of course, the scene calls are where the fire department has helped with safely landing us wherever those calls have been throughout the county.
How does that compare to the other areas like Pincher, Fort McLeod? Are we higher, lower?
Pincher Creek is around 20 missions per year. And Lethbridge, I should actually add that in. Lethbridge County is our 3rd busiest county in all of STARS, wherever we fly, with over 70 missions per year. And that is because in a lot of cases, patients are brought in by ground ambulance. And then if they're brought in by ground ambulance to the Lethbridge Hospital, like they may be transferred even from your hospital to the Lethbridge Hospital. And if critical, then STARS is called, or maybe they become critical once they're there. You know, who knows what the situation is. So being that Lethbridge is the hub for southern Alberta, many rural people are brought into that hospital. And we can even be, if we know the patient's critical already and an ambulance has left, we can actually either meet them at the Lethbridge Hospital or another location to transport the patient. And I guess those would be the closest counties to you. Warner County only has a couple missions per year, and then it varies. Tabor, MD of Tabor averages about 12 missions per year. So, you know, a total of 7 missions per year out here is probably a little bit on the lower side, but like I said, many patients may not be shown up on here as they would fall under the Lethbridge County stats if they've been picked up from the hospital in Lethbridge. Here is an overview of our budget, our direct operating costs for 2025 and 26. So total direct operating costs of $36.6 million. And thankfully, we do receive $15 million from our largest donor, Alberta Health Services. So these numbers are purely for Alberta only. So after the contribution from Alberta Health Services, we still need to fundraise 59% of our direct operating costs. The STARS Lottery is still our largest fundraiser overall at STARS, and it is open now if you would like to purchase your tickets online or call into STARS to get your tickets. There's over 2,000 prizes to be won this year. After that, we have corporate, business, and individual donations and community-driven fundraisers. There was a big one just on the weekend, actually, that I was at up in Red Deer, and that was the Feeders Association of Alberta. It's the second longest standing running event for STARS in STARS history. And so they raised almost $100,000 this year, surpassing their previous goal. And they're close to raising a total cumulative amount of $1 million. So we're waiting to see if they broke the $1 million yet or not. And at that point, they'll have another logo unveiling on our helicopter. And then another portion of our funding is the municipal initiative, which the town of Cardston has been part of for quite some time now. So municipalities recognize STARS as an essential service and extension to the emergency services in their community. And with that, we have over 95% of Alberta municipal support. So this map shows the different levels of support across the province. The light gray areas are the areas under the $2 per capita. And then the sea of navy blue across the map, those are our regional leaders. And that map has continued to grow. If you compared it to the previous years, we have more regional leaders as time goes on, which means they're over the $2 per capita, anywhere up to $90 per capita, and everything in between. Then our provincial leaders, who are usually the counties or MDs that give it a much higher level of support, they are, often on a fixed rate and on a standing motion, have STARS in their budget like that, and just to create that sustainability for us. And once they have reached a minimum of $500,000 in cumulative giving, we honor them with a logo on our helicopter. So some of them have multiple logos because they've reached 1 million, 2 million, or 3 million in cumulative giving. So this last July, we recognized Rocky View County for reaching 1 million. And this year or early next year, we'll recognize Foothills County and Mountain View County. So it's very much a united effort of all of us to create this robust health and safety network that we rely on for rural Alberta. Some of the regional partnerships are shown in red, and so the MD of Tabor does have a full regional partnership now, and we're close to achieving that here in Cardston County as well. To speak to our crew, every year we send a team of 2 from STARS to compete at the International Air Medical Transport Conference. It's a simulation competition where they have replicated a farm accident involving 5 critical patients. So it's very high intensity. They work on simulation mannequins that blink and breathe just like you and I do. And so with that, it's a changing outcome of the patient. So within the 23, actually I think it's 24 years now, STARS has always placed within the top 3, and 9 of those years placing first. So we're very proud of the crew, but most importantly with this to mention is that, we're born to serve rural communities. And when we show up, we're bringing the highest level of critical care available in the world right to the patient's side to give residents the best chance at survival. Oh. All right. So I want to thank the town of Cardston for your ongoing support. You've been at 4,100 on a fixed rate with a standing motion that creates sustainability, predictable funding that we can count on. And our request is we'd really like to see you recognized as a regional leader with the other 75% of the province. So I put together a graduated proposal for you to just kind of get you up to that regional leader status by the end of your term. So $1.25 for this year, and then $1.50 next year, $1.75 in 2028, and $2.29. So we would certainly appreciate your consideration of that. We're available 24/7 with our world-class crew. And now with passing 40 years, it really shows what partnership can achieve. STARS has been built by the community for the community. And we appreciate your past support and your consideration of this request.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions for Jackie? We will discuss the donations for sure next meeting for sure. And if there's nothing else, thank you very, very much. We appreciate everything you do, and we never want to hear that helicopter come in, but it's nice to know that it's available if we need it.
That is for
As I
sure.
said earlier, as I hope in the next 5 years it'll be landing over here, not 8 kilometers out there. But I guess we'll see where that goes with our hospital. So,
Well, it sounds like you're making some positive progress.
so we hope so. Seems to be anyhow.
That's
Okay.
great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'll leave a couple of calendars for you, one for the fire department, one for your office, and some magazines. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here.
Okay.
There you go, Jack.
We probably should donate a little bit more, shouldn't we?
When
We're one of the busier areas.
When will we discuss that and decide on that?
What's that?
When are we gonna discuss that? It's just next week.
Probably business that we talk about then.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we have the minutes from the special meeting of council that we need to pass. As you can see, it was a rather short one on very obvious reasons. Councillor Kennedy.
Yep.
The minutes of the 23rd of January 2026 meeting. All in favor? Okay. And the next one, let me get to it.
I'll make that motion for the regular
You beat me to
meeting.
it, all right, and the meeting on January 27th in the council chambers. All in favor? Passed. Okay. Now we're looking at 5A, bylaw 1573B for.
Yes, so council, we talked about this, I want to say 2 meetings ago. You have 2 bylaws in front of you tonight that have both had first reading and they've both had the public hearing. So again, for the new councilors, just so we're clear, whenever you make a change to a statutory planning document, you must have a public hearing. So you must invite the public the opportunity to comment. So this was done actually late last year, was when this public hearing, and there was no one that spoke against it, by the way. But we had a public hearing on both, and then we've just kind of been sitting, waiting to know where we were moving with, particularly the Francophone School. So the first one you're looking at here is 1573B. It's essentially saying that we're agreeing that we're going to overlay new maps into the area structure plan. But we're going to do that at a future date. So that's what that area structure plan is saying. This is allowing us to subdivide that the school site and those commercial sites differently than the area structure plan. So administration does recommend second and third reading.
Okay. Councillor Selk,
I move second reading of bylaw 1573B.
any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried.
Do you need to go to the third reading or no?
Not on, no, you've already done first, so you're fine. So you can just do second and third reading.
don't
That's
need
just
it.
when you're doing all three in one.
You do all three, you
Okay.
mean, we'll talk about that actually in 2 more items because we're requesting that.
Okay.
Or
Councillor Kenley for third read.
yeah, I'll move that bylaws 1573B be given third and final reading.
Any discussion on it? All in favor? Any opposed? See none, that is carried. Thank you. Let's go to B, bylaw 1647S, land use amendment.
That's so, if I might, Counselor, this is, and timely that our someone in the gallery just showed up for this very short point. So this land use bylaw, again, for the new councillors, has had first reading, had a public hearing. This is intended to redesignate lands on the east side from their current zoning of residential to public and institutional, and another section of that from residential to general industrial. We presented those maps to you last meeting, so you know exactly what that's talking about. There are further maps in here. Again, this was to accommodate the Francophone School, particularly just south of the soccer park, and that's the site rezoning to public and institutional. And we're looking for second and third reading on that one as well.
All right, would anybody like to make a motion?
I can make a motion that we accept,
Councillor Smith
that we accept it for the second.
on bylaw 1647S, land use bylaw amendment, second read.
Yeah.
All in favor? Any opposed? I'll take one for third read now. Councillor Selk,
I'll move third reading of bylaw 1647FS, the third and final reading, rather.
okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, it carries.
That's all the fanfare for it, Gregory.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who
Who's
Who
the
is it?
person? Who's that?
So Gregory's on the board of the Franco-Sud School Board.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. I guess I've met with you a number of times. We know each other quite well, and you don't know some of the counselors. So, your director of operations phoned me earlier in the day and said, "I got a trustee in town. Can you come by?" And I said, "You're welcome to. It'll be quick."
Can I just say thank you? Okay.
Yeah.
Take one moment.
It's up
Yes,
to the chair here.
absolutely. Yep, you certainly may.
So, I came in just at the right time. So, first of all, it's great to meet all of you. I had met with, and then the previous mayor and everything for the Francophone School. I am the school board chair for Francophone School. Our school board is in Calgary, but it would cover the entire southern region. We're really grateful to be able to partner with the town of Cardston. We've always wanted to partner with towns and to do as much as we can. We currently have about 25 students in our school. We've been in the provincial building, so you can imagine a small primary school in provincial building with the courthouse and addiction centers and everything in that area. So we're grateful to be able to go on another piece of land, and thankful for Jeff and all his work, and also for all of you for partnering with us. We are very open to any type of partnership, whether it's community centers or things like that. We have access to federal funding for some things like that. So if you see other projects in the future, please keep us in mind. We'd love to partner and find ways to maybe bring some money to the table as you develop these things. I hear rumors of community centers and things like that. So, but I just wanted to say thank you, and we're grateful to be partners with your city. And I'm a citizen of Cardston. I've been living here for 10 years, and so it's great to be with you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gregory's Van Dyce. Is that how you say your last name? Van Dyce. Okay, good. Yeah, Gregory Van Dyce. I didn't give his last name.
Okay.
So,
Well, let us move on then. Electrical distribution bylaw amendments.
yes, this one's first of all terribly boring, but council, you might recall you passed a new updated agreement with NMAX Power a month and a half ago, and part of that is we need to change some of the terms in our bylaw because it's where the retailers look for the fee structures when they operate within the community, and so there's a couple of small things. The one schedule is so odd. It gives these formulas that are all letters, and it looks very algebraic. I honestly don't really know what to make of it, but it makes sense to the retailers when they're setting their fees. And so there was two small changes in these schedules. One was, let me scroll if I might. There was a late payment charge and a final notice fee that were changed, and the default supplier energy charge was increased by $5 a billing period. So they're all very minor, and two of them are decreases. With that in mind, administration is requesting all three readings of this bylaw. So for you new counselors, there are some provisions in the Act which can prohibit all three readings of a bylaw in one meeting. So what happens is you can do two readings in any meeting, anytime, that's fine on a bylaw. And you can only do third reading if you pass a unanimous motion to allow for third reading. So what would happen is a counselor would move for first reading, that will pass, move for second reading, that will pass, and then a counselor must move to allow for third reading. And if that is not all of you, if it's not unanimous, then it fails and you cannot do third reading. And we don't often bring you requests for all three readings in a meeting, but sometimes when we have these very administrative type bylaws that we're quite certain the public isn't going to want to come speak to, we like to move those along. So we are requesting two readings, allowance for third reading and third reading tonight.
Okay. How many of you have read through this and understand everything it says?
I was never very good at algebra, so
We will take a motion for first read.
I'll make that motion for
Councilor
first
Selk,
reading.
first reading for bylaw 1649R, the electricity distribution bylaw amendments. All in favor? Any opposed? No. So carried. Second read, Counselor
Make a
Winder,
motion for the second read of bylaw 1649R electricity distribution bylaw amendment.
I appreciate you reading it all the way out. Otherwise I get too hoarse up in here, so. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. We will now take a motion for allowing third read of bylaw 1649R.
Go ahead.
Okay, Counselor Kenny for the allowance to do third read. All in favor? Any opposed? And we will take a third read.
Go ahead, Councillor Smith. Sorry, I can't really say that, but
Third
I,
read.
I make a motion that we accept the third read.
Yep.
Okay, for the,
Okay, for bylaw
for bylaw
1649R.
1649. 16.
All in favor of third read and final read? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried. All right, it's moving right along here. We're just flying here. Let's get to.
Councillor Court and I made a bet when we reviewed the agenda earlier, so he's moving along.
I've got the granddaughter thing worked out at 7. I think I'll be okay. This one might be a little more interesting on the remediation of derelict and vacant properties. I took a drive around town yesterday and oh my gosh, I just go, you know, it's something I hadn't really realized. There's a house that looks pretty decent, but the windows are smashed out, so clearly nobody lives there. And some of the other properties are looking a little ragged, so. All right,
Well, Councillor, if I could have Joshua speak to this, we ran into, as you know, this policy was new as of the last term, the end of last term. We've run into a couple little things. This is just a quick amendment we'd like to make, but I'll let Joshua give you some context.
okay, thank you, Joshua.
Thank you, Council. This policy has been under the microscope because we are coming into the new tax season. And you'll be looking at rates for derelict and vacant properties in May. So ever since this program was introduced in 2024, the administration has been careful to reach out to people ahead of their being included on this list and their properties being classified as one or the other. And so what we've noticed in this policy is that it just directed the refund to the wrong party. So rather than the one who sold the property getting the refund for the vacant tax portion, it's the purchaser who would get it when that tax is divided on sale. So that's what's being asked for here.
All right, I'm sure we'll have more comments and discussions down the road on some of the buildings in town that are rather nasty to look at.
so has that been happen? Did that happen? Is that what you're saying?
No,
What's that?
Just that situation, like
One was considering it late last year, which brought this to our attention, but didn't go through with it.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone else who has successfully applied under this policy was on the residential side. And we are currently just putting letters and envelopes in the next day or two for everybody else that's on the list this next year.
Okay. Right. Yep. Any other questions? Okay. We need a motion to adopt this policy.
I'll make a sorry, Mike, can I do this?
Yep. go
Okay,
ahead.
I'll make a motion to adopt the amendment. Is that what we're doing here? Or adopt the policy of the remediation of derelict and vacant property policy as amended.
Okay. Any further questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Quick meeting tonight. They're not usually this fast, but we'll take them.
Had a lot in Jan. Would you have 5 meetings in January?
5 meetings in
yeah,
January.
We're okay.
Okay, with contractor award.
Yeah, Council, last meeting in closed session, you reviewed the proposal from a consulting firm to do grant writing for a project we are looking to engage on. So I didn't want to release all those details in the public portion, but I would like a resolution tonight we can release the name of the company, but to move to accept their proposal and the funding source because it wasn't in the original budget. So that motion is at the bottom of your RFD.
Okay.
And if there's anyone that's forgotten that context, let me know. But I think we know what we.
I was just gonna ask her, like, are we okay with what was proposed? Like,
Very much.
we never really had.
Yeah.
I don't think we really discussed it.
We did a
My
bit.
interpretation was that there was fairly broad consensus. But
Because
if I was mistaken, I'd like to know that.
Who else is going in on this account?
So
No.
the school division is sharing all the costs.
Oh,
of
this is
consulting
that.
with
I'm
us,
thinking
yes.
I'm thinking of the.
This is the Lions Park
Yeah.
project.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I'm fine to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Lions Park project. School division is in for half.
This isn't the big the big structure they're looking at.
No.
Okay.
no.
Okay, thanks.
That's
Butter.
coming up.
Any other questions?
Nope. I move to accept the proposal for grant management services from Progressive West Consulting with the funding coming from account 2-12-207 contracted services.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Wow. Tell the mayor to stay away more often. Just kidding. Oh, now this one, yeah, okay. Delegation follow-up. We heard from Peter Casserell and Leor last week. Is there anything that needs to be brought forward right now from those discussions when they talked to us last week at CCW?
I would like to talk about what Leor's request at the end of what he asked about. I don't know if we discussed that in public or in private.
We're talking about any specific people or properties. It should be okay.
Just about the funding for.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I want to talk about it in private or public, but
Sorry, I didn't even have that on. So.
Okay.
he just asked the question and no one really said anything. So I don't know what the answer to that
Talking
is.
demolition here, or what are you talking?
No, so there was, he asked for our program, the trap,
Oh.
neuter, release program
Right.
that was happening. So you have a couple of options. Certainly you can discuss it. You can also talk about it when we redo budget at mill rate time as well.
Okay.
It's up to you guys when you want to engage in that.
I would like to see statistics. We've been doing it for 4 or 5 years now. Is it making any difference? That's what I'd like to know. I don't know how you find those statistics. Track down the cats, I guess.
Yeah. We can do some digging. Gary might have some idea of where that's gone over the couple of years.
I mean, if we're seeing a significant decrease, I'm fine, but if we're not, I guess we can discuss that later, can't we?
The anecdotal evidence to this point was that no, there's been no significant change in
Yeah.
those numbers. That would
I've just forgotten, am I allowed to say, is
Absolutely.
it cats and dogs, or was
just
it just
cats for
It
that
was-
program.
Why
Yeah.
isn't it dogs too?
Because we don't have a ton of trouble with them.
Yeah, it's a
We have
territorial.
a dog catcher that seems to keep
Okay.
an eye on things. Obviously, cats would follow under the same thing. They're supposed to be licensed as well, but good luck. But anyhow,
Okay. so
Just the
cats.
behavioral and territorial patterns are just totally different.
Yeah.
And so the program is it's not effective with dogs.
Okay.
Dogs are captured and rehomed.
Yeah.
Is the
lots
main
of complaints
practice
on
there.
cats and that they get in. They're not really most dogs will be in at night. They will be wherever their owner has them at night. The cats are a little bit different. Some cat owners are really good and keep an eye on them. Others let them run at night and take care of your flower beds and your everything else. So it's a bit of a headache in certain parts of the town. Seem to have it worse than other parts of the town. So yeah.
I was gonna say I'm fine to wait till mill rate for that
Okay.
one.
Okay.
But coming about Peter's presentation about
Yeah.
this is what I was referring to. I can just say I think the idea is awesome. I think it's cool. I just worry about the funding and the costs and involved in the upkeep, like he was saying. Like, I think it's a great idea. I just worry a little bit. And I don't know if we want to wait till the mayor and Councillor Johnson are back
Upkeep, sorry.
What are you talking?
Yeah.
to make the decision on that. But
On which?
Oh,
he was looking for a letter.
with the
Border wall project.
border
yeah.
wall
Tourism
project. That's
The
right.
tourism.
Yeah.
So-
He is seeking some formal correspondence from the town if we're interested. He's emailed me just yesterday again.
I would be
I
fine
guess we
waiting.
could discuss that right now. Who's maybe interested in this wall, or you have a strong feeling for it?
I think anything that we can do to get people to stop.
Yeah.
I think his thought was at the Tourist Information Center or somewhere around the Remington Carriage Museum, and that actually gets people stopping on Main Street. So I think there's a lot that the town can benefit from that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a more visual place. I don't want to put it back by the Remington because people won't see it.
No,
But he said he
Go
would,
ahead, but Councillor Selk was letting finish them all.
I'm pretty sure that you can adapt it to whatever space we have available right up by the Tourist Information Center.
Okay.
and it seems to me he said that we would have a say in it. The town could have some input about where
yeah.
it was to be located.
Totally.
And, yeah, and then I had, because I had thought maybe by this north, right by the entranceway, which we needed new signage for anyway, but I'm not sure if that would, if we'd be able to substitute one for the other. It seems like it was quite a lot of money that he was asking for.
They weren't
monthly.
asking from the
Asking for
town.
money.
He wasn't asking for
Not
money.
from the town.
No,
No.
not from us.
He's solely funded by whatever.
I think he's looking again at grant funding,
Just looking
benevolent
to be able to go look for it.
benefactors.
And then
Well,
we would,
that's right,
then
yeah.
we would be responsible for the
Yeah.
upkeep and
Right.
keeping it nice.
Yeah, okay.
Any other comments on this?
Other than if you move it too far out of town, I mean, he's talking about water fountains
Yeah.
and other things as well.
Yeah.
No.
We have services right there at the Tourist
Yeah,
Information Center,
that
so
needs
we don't have to go digging water lines for 5 miles.
Okay.
No.
I've
totally.
asked you this before, but how much of that land do we own? And how much of it is Remington?
I mean, it's an interesting scenario. The letter of the law says we lease the land that's on the building footprint. So I worded that poorly, but
Yeah.
we lease the amount of land the building's on.
Okay. So if we want to do something different, we'd have to go through the Remington.
Yeah, we'd have
do
to
it.
work through some licensing with them, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that's a major hurdle. We would just have to work through them, yeah.
Yeah, the tourism part I like. It just matter like finding the right spot. Like if it's way out of town, no one's gonna notice it. If it's, yeah.
I was just gonna add. I guess it doesn't hurt to say, go find the money, because at the end of the day, you still got to come present it to us and the idea and where it's going, and we can make that decision then. But
See,
Do you want to? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, the impression I got from Peter, Milk River wants it,
Yeah.
and he's saying, do you want it? And, without saying it, I think Peter was saying he wants Cardston to get it. He doesn't want it. And in that regard, I'm all in favor of that.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to? Do
he's asking for a formal letter of support.
we want to get just pass it with the 5 of us, or do we want to wait for the other 2 to come in?
Let's pass it.
Have
Well,
their
I mean,
comments?
No,
I'd be fine waiting, but
I think we
If we
can.
have- if we have 5 here saying fine, then it doesn't really matter.
I look at it this way, Counselor, and that's, what are we hurting by passing it
not.
today? Because
Okay,
we
I'll
can
make
move it ahead.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to send a letter of interest in the Border Well Initiative to Peter Casarella
Okay.
from the town of Cardston.
All in favor? Okay, we pass that for the letter to Peter.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your discussion, councilors.
If I should have added that we shouldn't be giving any funding for that yet with that letter of support, or he's expecting anything.
He's not expecting any funding that I'm aware of.
Councilor Court, can I ask one other thing, please?
Yes.
On the Peace Officer Leroy Stanley's presentation, he did have a couple of questions at the end, but basically just, do you want to see as a council any dramatic shifts to priority, time allocation, those types of things? You've seen some of his reports now where that time's going. You saw the year end for 2025. Administratively, we feel it's a reasonably good mix, but if there's something around the table, I'd be happy to take that back.
I actually see them on there quite frequently. I don't hang around downtown all the time, but they're out wandering around.
I would just say, I think Leor is doing a great job doing
Yeah.
exactly what he's doing, and if we have any other suggestions for him, we'll bring it up at a future time.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. Yeah.
The only other thing I thought of, is there something we can do where he's not at the end of the day having to do with all the dogs and stuff like that? Like, because he's covering for somebody. Is there someone that can cover that so he can be doing?
Yeah, the intent is that it is short term.
Okay.
For sure, and he's certainly willing. I think he's just very good to help with that kind of stuff. We do have a volunteer who's helping out a lot more as well. Leor's actually off right now, and so we have a volunteer helping with some of those as well. So yeah, we'll try and plug some of that in.
I just didn't know if he was missing
not the
doing
long-term plan.
other things while he was helping out with the dogs and
Yeah.
okay.
No, it isn't the long-term plan
Okay.
for sure. Thank you for that. I think Councillor Smith had something too.
I just wanted to bring forth some evidence that Leor was doing such a good job, and that is that I happened to see him wheelchair a person across Main Street to catch the bus or something. I don't know what he was, but anyway, it was so touching. It was really touching to see him doing
Very
that.
good that way.
Oh yeah, here he is pushing his wheelchair. It was great.
Okay, thank you.
All right, on to the one I don't want to talk about, but we're going to. Renewed police funding model. Just read that and choke. So there's not much we can do about it. We could go on our own, raise a couple $1 million, but we wouldn't get the coverage we're getting now.
Well, the only comment I had, Counselor, was that we're gonna need to get ahead of this with respect to the citizens. And I know that, you know, the province doesn't want us pointing out that any of their taxes are going towards this, but this is like 130% increase over the next 5 years or something like that.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
So
I
we
think
got-
it's
We gotta get ahead of this, and we gotta be able to, we got tax notices going out in the not too distant future, and we need to outline all of this, that
I think we need to get a little political too. I think the mayor, when she's here, and other mayors around there are getting hammered like this, and the county's getting even a bigger increase, and well, they'll be paying more than we do, I think.
Yeah.
But I think we need to start making some noise down here, not just be good little citizens and accept everything they throw at us. So I agree with you on that one.
I just wanted to mention this I think it was last Thursday or Friday. I hadn't seen the email yet, and Murray from the county phoned me. He's like, "Have you seen your number?" I said, "No, what are you talking about?" And he says, "Go to your email." And so I opened my email, and I've been shocked by the number. That's a full 20% of total taxation here in 4 more years.
right.
You know, and it was zero, by the way, 4 years ago. If I could just remind, that was a zero cost 4 years ago. And what disappoints me, and you might remember 2 meetings ago, you had 4 different letters from different groups about this policing cost, and the high end was anticipated to be somewhere around 50 to 55% increase over the 4 or 5 years. And when you look at 2015's numbers to where they're going by 2030, that's 240 something percent.
Yeah.
You know, it's and nobody, today actually I got 4 more from colleagues of mine saying, well, here's mine and here's mine, and
That's all.
look what mine is.
Everyone's obviously having issues with it. Like, what are they doing?
Are we seeing any
Like,
increase?
what are the
in-
premium? Like, what's the government doing?
I
They
mean,
can't expect.
Alberta Municipalities is trying to lobby hard on this one,
Right.
but it was a staggering number. I thought we were going to land in the 3s. I thought we were going to land somewhere in the mid 3s, even the high 300,000s.
Yeah.
So to get something that says 630,000 by 2030, and it's 2026.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have some serious discussions about this as time goes on, but that's a massive challenge.
They
Massive.
want us to start borrowing to pay them. Like,
I don't know.
Well,
I think, and I've been reading that we're in a deficit situation in the province, so I think they're scrambling. The premier came out yesterday or today and said at least 3 more years of deficits because oil prices are down. So now what's their solution? Dump it on us, on the taxpayers. I mean,
So
and I
you'll
don't
be-
see any improvement. Not that our guys are doing a bad job, but I don't see anything different for all the extra money we're paying. So
So I mean, just for context, because school requisitions have been going up about 30% a year lately too, right? So by 2030, you'll be raising over $2 million a year for the province on a community that raises $3 million a year in taxes.
well, that should be your headline to them.
So I mean, those numbers are staggering, and a number of us CAOs have started having some conversations, and it really speaks to affordability in the communities. But the only lever you have to flex is municipal services.
yeah.
Right? They're gonna hold fast and just say, well, sorry, it is what it is. And you're the body of government that has to start thinking about affordability in communities.
So the community starts to stagnate because we can't afford to do what we want to do.
It's a huge issue. Huge.
Yeah.
this is completely unaffordable. This, plus,
Ridiculous.
as you mentioned, Jeff, the school tax requisitions are getting to the point where we throw up our hands and go,
Yeah.
oh, we might as well fold and become part of the county.
Yeah. A third of your taxes now are school.
Yeah.
You have your municipal taxes?
Yeah.
So
Seniors.
yeah, it's a wild time. I was shocked, and like I said, my email and text groups of CAOs are like, oh, they didn't all come in at the same time. Cardston County and ours did, and so I sent it out, and they're like, we haven't seen that yet. And then this week they're all coming in through the province and met by the same reaction, I would say.
Yeah.
This is probably a naive question, but is there some ruling about the RCMP have jurisdiction here?
Nope. So you have
Oh man, I couldn't imagine without.
you have options for community policing. Of course you do. You've seen communities. Coaldale, I think, is
Tabor.
contracting with Lethbridge and then Tabor. And how it works, Councillor Smith, and I won't have this exactly, but bear with me, is under the former provincial policing contract, communities under 5,000 didn't have to pay for policing. The province paid for that. And so historically the town has always been obviously a community under 5,000. Once you hit 5,000, you had to start paying up to, I think, about 70% of, might be 60 or 70, don't hold me to that, but it's one of those two of your police costs. But there was also grants from the province to help offset some of those costs. So I don't know how it netted out. I'm not sure. So communities, Raymond's a good example that's starting to approach 5,000. They've been trying to figure out how they make room for those policing costs that are coming. And well, this does it in a hurry. I mean, it's going to force them to tax for it right away. So are we required to have RCMP? No. It's been the best system for communities under 5,000, obviously, from the beginning for who knows how long. But I have my own kind of conspiracy theories on this. We'll talk about when I'm not standing at a podium in a public meeting that's being recorded. But yeah, this is, I can't imagine the phone ringing at the Department of Justice and Solicitor General. I mean, that's got to be wild up there right now. Because these numbers are far beyond anything anyone was told was coming or that we anticipated. They exceeded by, a couple 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Question. So like you say Alberta munis, they're pushing for, like, I'm trying to remember, like, what can they push for? Like, obviously they're just like on our behalf, they're trying to push against, but can they like make it go away? Can they?
Well, no, they can't make it go away. They're simply a lobby group. You can see remnants of what they're trying to do in the very next correspondence piece, where they're trying to have a campaign called Property Taxes Reimagined. And for us to start telling our residents, look, property taxes aren't what they used to be now. Mm-hmm. They're getting to be a heavily provincial tool. You need to be aware of that. Here's how that all plays out. They're the type of campaigns we probably should get on side with. And that's in that very next piece. And so they're trying to shift the narrative a little bit. But it's very difficult to tell that person down your street that, well, just call your MLA. Sorry, there's nothing I can do. Call your MLA. Because they see you as pulling the levers of municipal taxation. At the end of the day, it rests with you guys.
So a little education out there as well.
Yeah, we're going to have to really do, in the next, like Councillor Selk said, we got tax notices in May. And so leading up to that and through that process, we need to be quite vigilant in messaging, for sure.
See,
so is there any idea?
Real quick, AB Munis, like you said, is a lobby group. What you can do is put a, what do they call it? In this,
a resolution, which is your third piece of correspondence.
And that's what a lot of people do, is put
Yeah.
resolutions for. But in reality, they have no more power than we do, actually. But yeah,
I was just gonna say, is there any idea of what this adds to a citizen by the end of the, like, how much per year they'd be paying? Like,
it's going to be about 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this keeps going, the day of the 2% increase every year for taxes is going to go out the door.
Yeah.
Especially if we want to do anything else in this town. I mean,
yeah, we'll have that discussion. I mean, some communities, as you talk to other councillors, some communities are going to say it's a provincial fee. We're flowing it through.
Yeah.
This is what the requisition is. We flow it through.
As long as the taxpayer understands that.
And call your MLA, right? But again, then you as the council have to have some discussions about community affordability.
Yeah.
Because you're the ones that can manipulate that. Now, I think it's appropriate, if you want my advice right now, is to try and ask our MLA to stop in next time he's in town, have a bit of a heart-to-heart. Mm-hmm. Now, I think he needs to understand that from every community's perspective. I don't think there's a recognition for the exponential increase in taxation to cover this. I think that might have got lost in translation between us and the province.
I'll pass that on to the mayor if she can get a hold of it.
I think we need to have some of that conversation sooner than later.
Yeah. I was just wondering, would it be Like, should we start looking at saving some, like a reserve account for policing? You know what I'm saying? Like, should we start taxing it right now? And
Well, here's
but I guess it is just a flow through.
and it's ratcheting up quite quickly. I mean, how fast
Not
would
gonna
you want
catch
to
up to
ratchet
it.
in 1 year?
Yeah.
I don't know that you'd ever get ahead of it, counselor.
Yeah.
That would be my caution to you.
Regardless, like you said, it's just a flow through. Like,
I don't
Well, I think we
necessarily
need to
recommend
up the
it.
much political
Yeah.
pressure as we can through our different communities, through our MLA, and see where it goes from there. But the next, anything else? Sorry.
crazy.
The next letter, I think you kind of cover that, Jeff, with Dylan Bracy and the things, expressing things that we can do. Any questions on that letter? Okay. Dana Mackey, I can't remember what she was talking about.
Resolutions for the next.
Oh, yeah, resolutions for what we were just talking about.
Explain that real quick, counselor?
Sure.
I mean, you did the 3 new counselors. So remember when you went to Alberta? Oh, were you there, counselor? Yeah. When you went to Alberta Munis, the last 2 sections of the day, they take resolutions to know what they should be lobbying on behalf of. So municipalities early on can put forward resolutions. Now, I can guarantee you there'll be 10 of them about policing, right? So they're going to filter through that. And if I were to call Rachel right now, who's the policy supervisor, she'd be telling me, yeah, we got it loud and clear. We'll work on that. But if you do have anything, we have done, in my time, I think we've done 2 other resolutions. And then sometimes you'll also be asked to sponsor another municipality's resolution as a seconder, if you will. Mm-hmm. So we'll start to see some of this discussion happen. But yeah, if you think of something that we really think impacts communities broadly in the province and we want that to be looked at.
This is when they had like the open mics towards the end, right?
Yep,
Where the people
that's
were-
right.
yeah, okay.
Kind of open.
Yeah.
You went up
Well,
and spoke
kind- yeah.
for what you went and spoke for 1 minute on yours, and then someone could speak in opposition, and then you could return the.
I thought
discussion.
that's what.
Sponsor.
we both.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
Yep.
We were all in the. Yeah. Okay.
So you can contribute to those
Yeah.
if you think of something. Yep.
Okay, we have a letter from Lenz Cooper, who just retired. Cooper, however you pronounce his name. He just retired from Orts, and he thanks us for our support of him. And now we are going into confidential items, so we need a motion.
Make a motion to go in camera.
All in favor?
Closed session, I should say.
Okay. We get you.
I make a motion to.
Counselor Smith, all in favor? One more motion, two more motions.
I make,
Are you doing the?
I make a motion to accept the amendment to the Lee Creek Campground and Reunion Center Management Agreement.
Your turn.
He was gonna make that motion, but that's fine. All in favor? You can do the last one,
I'll make a motion that we
the
adjourn.
one that we all favor. Thank you. Thank you very much. I was fast and furious and we covered quite a bit, I think.
Mhm.